Well, it's episode 2, Monday morning. We got a lot of big things going on today. 2 big clients coming in. Pretty excited about that. But I need some coffee. Well, it's 2018, beginning of the year. I have a goal of 150,000. Not entirely sure how that's gonna work, but we're gonna kick some ass this year. Besides that, we have 2 pitches to do today, and we have 2 to give tomorrow as well. One thing I would give about that, just a little tip, it's all about the trust. Last week got a little busy, to say the least. The office got really messy, and we have 2 clients coming in today, so we need to clean this up. The office is all clean, but we just made the first camera screw up. I just recorded a bunch of content and it was still set on the time-lapse feature. So, lessons learned. So earlier when I was talking about trust, what I meant was when it comes down to giving a pitch to a potential client, in my experience, it comes down to building trust. This means they should feel comfortable about making their decision to ultimately go with you. They could go with a handful of other freelancers or companies. So you need to make sure that you can convey trust during your pitch. So this technique has been built into every pitch that I've given over the past 1.5 years, because people relate a lot easier to somebody else versus just a list of services. So the best way I can explain this is you need to be personal. You need to find a way that you can connect with the client really well, to the point that they understand what they're going to be getting. They understand the value of your work and how you are ultimately going to benefit them. Now, I've actually taken this one step further, and talking about trust is part of my pitch. This is a very big part of my pitch, and I do this in the very, very beginning when I start talking about the client and explaining how it is to work with my company. It's built on trust, and I have a way that I actually define what trust is. This is also good for a couple reasons, because it really explains that we don't want to be micromanaged, because ultimately we know what we're doing. But at the same time, whenever you're doing this, you have to be very cautious, because obviously you don't want to come off as like, you're arrogant or you know better than they do. So I always make sure to come back to the whole, we need to work with you. We need your feedback, because that's critical for a successful project launch. Ultimately, they know their clients, they know their customers better than we do. So we need to make sure that they do understand that. And ultimately, if we both work together and we both respect each other's opinion, in the end, we're going to get a kick-ass result. So I'm not saying that this is the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it if you're not doing it. Hopefully you can take a little bit more thought process into this and maybe think about adding something extra to how you pitch or changing up your technique a little bit. So it's worked for me. Hopefully it'll work for you. So it's Friday, had a good week. Ultimately, I ended up pitching to, I believe, 6 potential clients. We have 1 signed contract confirmed already, but I still have a bunch of work ahead of myself today. So I need to get to it. been a busy day today. It's 5 o'clock and time flies with drones.